What button?
Clicking the button.
Click the button.
Don't say-
Stop working.
Don't say anything bad. I got that same Star Wars shirt.
No, great shirt.
Mr. Cross, yeah. It doesn't fit me anymore. Someone else is wearing it now, but I own it. It's mine. Take it back at any
And
minute.
ask for it back at any time.
Yes.
I was reading.
Oh, you're at the salad bar? Give me that shirt.
Fanfic, Star Wars fanfic today. So
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going. Okay.
We're on the internet.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey!
Sorry.
Hey!
What's
hello,
happening?
friends.
Woo!
We're here.
Initiative.
We are 100 years old.
You're so old right now.
We have
So,
reached the elven age of majority.
huh?
There are times I feel like that. So.
Right.
I'm still 6. What are you, or 7? What are you talking about?
And it's time for us to get on that boat and head out.
Kobold ages. What a deal. Okay, so we just hit 100 episodes, everybody.
We did.
We're going to Disneyland! Woo!
I wish. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier,
Someday.
we're going to Sizzler.
Someday. I will.
Someday.
We will go to Disney, and it will be fantastic.
Or at least something thematic like, oh, we're already in Oklahoma. Well, here we are.
Frontier. We're going to Frontier City!
Hello.
Going to Frontier City.
Germs is saying hello in chat. Hello, Germs. Germs is congrating us on 100 episodes.
No. No, you don't want to go to Frontier City? No.
We're going to the Harn Homestead.
We'll go to Fright Fest.
Right. We'll go to the Orr family farm and ride the merry-go-round. That's what we'll do.
Gary, we're going to talk about
if we're gonna go to Frontier City, I need to make an appointment to re-up my tetanus shot. It's been, I think you're supposed to get it every 10 years.
Oh my god.
What are you doing at Frontier City that requires tetanus shots?
Standing. Maybe using the bathroom.
Yep. Okay. We got Hal in chat. We got Germs in chat. What's going on, fellas?
There goes the sponsorship.
There goes the sponsorship. Frontier City's like, tetanus shots.
They're owned by Six Flags. They're bigger.
If you stop digging through the trash at Frontier City, you won't get.
We were just in talks with them for sponsorship, Gary.
Yeah, I know.
all down the tubes.
Yeah. They were going to change the name of the Silver Bullet to the Thundercrack.
Thundercrack would not be insulted in this manner.
The swinging boat could be Thundercrack's revenge. Yes.
Oh.
yeah. There we go.
No, the swinging boat is obviously La Promise.
No, because that one crashed. That one crashed. You don't want to ever be in a boat that crashes. That's like naming it the Titanic.
I don't remember what we named our boat. I'm sure we named it
Thundercrack's Revenge.
Bodie McRevenge.
Bodie McBoat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you get all of us together at once.
If you ever want a behind the scenes,
Who's got the brain cell?
behind the scenes, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I edit every day.
The fun part is going to be, this is for patrons only, so it's going to be really fun to sit here and watch Brooke not want to say, oh, and for more, subscribe to our Patreon.
I mean,
But you're already here. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Brooke is great at hawking wares.
Weeks later, but
Well, we got Germs is jazzed about us making 100 episodes and only one player character death, so far.
bye.
I'm not working hard enough.
Thanks, Germs.
Not wrong.
I need to work harder. I don't know. In the episodes we just recorded, it was touch and go. There were some moments.
And
That's all I'll say about that.
And all I can say is the ones we've just been recently doing with the reveals from Connor, I really wish Gideon were still here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about that was what jumped to your brain the most, Michael? What about it was like, oh, I wish. Well, because the realization that he's been a spy the entire time, for me that would have been, I don't know, it wouldn't have been like a distrusting thing, but it would have been just kind of
trying to figure out the whole thing. Well, then were you planning this the entire time? Were you,
Yeah.
Idiot, don't think about it till you hot. You're gonna get yourself.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. Sonimus knew all along. Called it.
He called it from a mile away.
I'm gonna put this in here, and this might be a fun thing for the patrons to hear happen now and then see it happen later. So Ash, get your pencil and start writing. I'm currently on my third reread of Dragonlance, and I just got to book 2. Spoilers if you haven't read it. I just finished book 2, but the part where Sylviana is like, wait, before we go any further, I need to show you something. Here, take this torch and walk towards me. And on the wall behind her, instead of it being a shadow of an elf, it's a shadow of a mighty silver dragon, because she's revealing that's who she actually is. So don't be surprised if in upcoming episodes, Zonimus starts walking up to Connor with a torch.
He just trying to catch him unawares, get in position.
I'm still holding that theory that any minute Connor's going to be like, and just boom, it's me, Thundercrack, the whole time.
He sees Connor and Thundercrack in the same room at the same time.
Never seen them in the same room at the same time. Yep.
Yeah, that's Johnny's theory. Have you noticed you've never seen Connor and Thundercrack in the same room together?
A coworker that listens to the podcast come up to me and he said that was perfect timing with Zonimus and Connor rekindling, because he asked me, he goes, what would Zonimus have done if they were still kind of butting heads? And then Connor dropped that reveal, and I was like, oh, that would have went a completely different direction.
Yeah. And then the kobold goes off the ship.
Yep. And that's
back in the bag.
The other thing about that I think for Gideon would have been Thundercrack. See, to Gaz, Thundercrack's real. You're raised in the Caliban frontier by the orcs. Thundercrack, although no one's seen her in our lifetimes, we know she's real. But for Gideon, it was just a child's story. Even when the Dragonborn had said, "Oh, Thundercrack's out there," was still that. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's like being told fairy tales. You don't know. That's not. I'm not going to believe any of that. So for Gideon, when Connor said, "Thundercrack is real," I served her. I saw her just a year ago. For Gideon, that would have been the mind blow, because so wait a minute, she really is. There's actually a dragon.
Gideon would have lost
today.
his mind when he saw Nightmare.
Excuse?
Well, we saw Nightmare, and it's not seeing a dragon, seeing Thundercrack. Because Thundercrack is she's the boogeyman for most of the humans in so. To the idea that she could be real. Yeah, dragons, sure, they could be real. That's no problem. In fact, I saw Nightmare. You weren't there for that. When we killed all the kobolds.
I think also...
Curie loved that moment.
You gotta keep bringing that up. Jeez, guys.
Poppy's favorite moment.
Johnny, I think if Connor and Zonimus had not been on good terms, I think that it would have been really easy to make that schism, because Poppy's also upset, right?
Yeah.
Initially, it takes her a minute, and she gets over it because she realizes her beef is not with Connor.
Yeah.
And to some degree, her beef is not really with Thundercrack. She just needs answers.
That would have been a great opportunity for you and I to talk each other down.
Yeah.
And then come back. Yeah. It's organic. I mean, it's organic, but you see missed opportunities a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, if Connor and Zonimus were still kind of in that same headspace of being kind of slightly antagonistic towards each other, like they were in the Plane of Dread, Connor would never have said anything.
Okay, so good timing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the fact that you and I actually basically kind of made up at the end of the Plane of Dread. We were all cool, and that's kind of when I was feeling that okay, Connor needs to tell his story.
Yeah.
Because this is a definite moment of when Connor is actually getting more and more closer to the party than he basically ever has been. And he just felt like he had secrets that he needed to share before it became...
I re-listened today to 100, and I caught something that I didn't catch live, and it was someone asked Connor. It might have been Zonimus that said, "So have you been with us since the train ride?" And Connor the Kobold's reply was, "Yeah, that's the first time you noticed me." And that jumped out at me this time, and I was like, "Wait a minute, were you like underneath the bench at the carnival? I mean, like where?" You know.
I mean, don't forget that pseudo dragon was fluttering around. Could have been in the crowd at the tent with the witch doctor telling the story, the storyteller.
Right. So we know that the Dragonborn storyteller is the one that, as an elder, they were like, "This is suspicious. I have, probably a half dozen or a couple dozen kobolds kind of underneath me. I'm gonna pick one that I trust to follow these hooligans as they head out west and to keep an eye on them." So we know that that's exactly how Connor got his assignment.
For some reason, I'm now imagining like that Dragonborn storyteller just having like a giant bag, and like he opens it up, and there's just all these little kobolds that just up and like
pulls up Connor.
I picture it very much like
Connor the Kobold. I choose you.
I picture it very much like the Perry the Platypus when he goes into to get his mission for the Phineas and Ferb episodes. Platypus. Hey, Perry the Platypus. So
when you said under her, I immediately just saw like a giant skirt with all these kobolds underneath.
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to Kelly Davis in the chat.
His robe and goes.
Yeah, Kelly's got a good point there. Go ahead, Brooke.
No, go. Kelly says, "I appreciate the honest reaction to the personal duplicity that some of the characters showed. It was interesting that Makran took it almost as a sign that he also was on the right path, kind of with his journey and the things that Makran was struggling with. But Kiri, when you had Poppy explain it to Zonimus a little bit later in the episode, that rang true."
Yeah. Well, and it was one of those... and we've talked about how I'm not great at playing my character, and I don't always know everything about her. And so she initially feels upset, and I have to, while Connor is talking, Kiri is sitting there thinking to herself, "Why am I feeling upset?"
Is it something Zonimus or Johnny did? No.
Over there, knitting and just completely silent.
Seriously knitting.
It was like this was knitting, and then the bomb drop, and then this was the knitting.
I take umbrage with all of those statements. I was not knitting. I was crocheting.
Oh, sorry, crocheting intensifies.
She was a sorcerer, not a wizard.
I'm working on a rainbow cardigan for Pride Month. I'm sorry.
Germs asked how long have the characters known each other at this point, and we figure it's probably between 2 to 3 months since the train ride.
Yeah, but it took me a few minutes to realize exactly why Poppy was upset, and it really came down to what I explained, which is the idea of fate and the agency that how free will plays into that. Am I actually free? If I'm not really free, why am I even out here? I might as well go home. That kind of she toiled with all of these things.
Yeah.
And she will continue to do that because that's one of those big questions that we can't answer. So it's interesting, but it's one of those. Kiri cannot play her character very well. She doesn't always know what I'm doing.
Hush.
No, I mean you're doing great. This is.
Ash to go. DM, what is my motivation here?
I mean, this is.
Look at the director.
Yeah.
What do I feel?
Motivation in the scene.
Sometimes Poppy feels things and I don't understand them until somebody else explains them to me.
I mean, sometimes when we're on break, we go down the hall and we go around the corner, and there's Kiri going, "I hate my dad. I hate my dad. I hate my dad." Studying her lines and trying to find the right way to. No, there's no lines, but no, Kiri, you do a great job. Yes. You're the only one that knows that and sees that, and because it's your head. We're not in there.
It was also one of those things that I realized in the moment. Poppy's being sulky. However, nobody knows why Poppy is being sulky, and they probably all think that I'm mad at Connor. So I was glad that Johnny gave her an in to explain her feelings. So thanks, my dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a good podcast boyfriend.
In Discord, my wife has confirmed the crocheting and knitting are different
They're
arts.
very different.
My wife does. She'll just crochet at like and in church she'll just crochet.
Yeah.
And while we're sitting watching television, she's just going at it. So yeah.
I have a huge blanket that I'm working on right now that's on my couch that I cannot bring to recording sessions anymore. But I'm making all of these little hexagons, and then you sew them together into a sweater. It's gonna be great.
So one's divine magic and the other's arcane.
Yes.
And then we can get even further into the weeds and talk about spinning.
The spinning and weaving process is completely different.
And not really something you can do during the show.
No.
Oh, you could probably. You could probably do it with a drop spindle.
Yeah, but you'd still be.
It'd be very noisy.
Yes, it'd be very noisy.
Which all I know about that is that if you prick your finger on one,
you go to sleep.
You go to sleep.
And then you just
go to sleep.
sleep.
You don't die.
If the fairies save you, if the fae step in.
There's this thing that
she was sassy.
There's this thing that I've been doing recently on Plausible Deniability episodes that I promised I wasn't going to do tonight, but I have to do it. I'll be right back. Oh my God! When did this turn into a crocheting and knitting episode?
Well,
Jesus!
The host is gone, so let's party, guys.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh no, he's back.
So Andrew wrote down, I would love to see an alternate line if he wasn't the one who died.
Because Gideon hadn't.
Oh my!
What if it's Zonimus or Poppy?
Yeah.
I have if Poppy had died, it would have gone
Made an
very
easy
much
season for you.
revenge-y
You would have been
very quickly. I feel like Gideon and Zonimus would have turned very vengeful.
Every table in Ratoya would have been flipped over.
It would have been harder to. It would have been much easier to lead toward a TPK at that point because we wouldn't have given up if Poppy had died.
Yeah,
if Poppy had died,
probably true.
We wouldn't.
I'm adorable.
Yeah, and it would be Daddy's revenge. We would just be going at it, and we would have died. There's no way we would have lived through that fight.
Yeah, no, you guys would not have backed down, and you would be going up against the full force of Fortunato, Wiley, and Serafina, all at once.
Yeah.
And
while we were injured and grieved out, I mean, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also Zonimus would have went back to town and slapped your daddy, and then kissed your mama, and then come back and sought revenge.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Zonimus would just be out, like he'd be done. He would have.
No, but he would have had a death wish. He would have died.
Yeah,
he would have went down in a blaze of glory.
And so
effortlessly.
he would have just
100%.
Yeah.
If
and
Zonimus,
thus Makrin and Connor would have been left to save the world.
Makrin and Connor would have been left to bring these three characters back into the game, the new characters that we made.
So, I've always said, I think I've said it in multiple roundtables, Connor's original plan when I was still in their captivity in the ship was
in the bag
to jump.
Oh.
So
right, yeah.
Makrin left.
We almost lost you.
Well, and at Gideon's death, Makrin rushes Fortunato, with a warhammer.
Yeah,
and
rolls 2 1s.
Rolls 2 1s.
As you do.
He cashed in the fate chips, and it was a 1 again. I mean, talk about
Tell the
dice.
story.
I think we've talked about this in a roundtable before, but if it were any character that wasn't Poppy, I still feel like she still would have tried to reincarnate you.
Yeah.
Would you have reincarnated?
I don't know what would have kept Zonimus, because he'd asked if it was Zonimus Poppy. I don't know what would have kept Zonimus there unless, in a situation similar to what Gideon had, unless someone's died and Zonimus doesn't have the news of it yet. I don't know what would have kept him from saying, "Oh, eternal nothingness."
So there's another answer, Andrew. It had it been Zonimus, we would have done the same thing. I think we would have.
You may have got me back.
Gotten out of there as quickly as possible, and then Zonimus would have come back.
And that would have rolled on a D100 table and come back as a
Came back as a halfling.
Hildorf.
Aw, that'd have been cute.
We're the same size.
Then we could have done the trench coat thing. Yeah.
It would have given Poppy another. If relationships would have continued to build and grow the way they did, it would have also. I could see it giving Poppy a track of how can I save his soul later on, right?
Yeah.
You know, so as well.
Because she wouldn't have wanted to have like her eternity without that. So yeah that would have been a good like spin-off series for her.
A whole spin-off series.
Anonymous' soul.
Patron exclusive. Poppy goes to hell.
Either that, or eventually the two of you go down basically the quote-unquote path of the dark side, searching for immortality.
Yeah.
I mean,
Druid liches.
Right?
There we go.
Yeah, that's like I think
Halfling
that's
druid
one of the things
lich.
that y'all haven't that I've kind of peppered in a little bit that y'all haven't necessarily picked up on.
Right.
Is that like the idea of immortality and the idea of not allowing yourself to come to that natural end is very frowned upon in this society.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I want to touch on Hal's question because some because of Michael and some because of Gideon. Would Gideon have backed off if he hadn't died? In that moment, I'm imagining the question is in that moment.
Right.
Your death is what stopped the fight. If it had been Poppy's death, it would have stopped the fight. If it had been my death, it would have stopped the fight.
Yes.
If there would have been no death, would you just kept pushing until there was a death that happened, or they escaped?
We didn't know the full power of and that the power word kill was the.
I think
Holy crap! We are way in over our heads, and we've got to get out of here. And so if Zonimus had dropped, if Makrin had dropped from that power word kill, it would have been whoa. We got to go. We have to. In fact, it was already kind of once the banishment thing kind of fell apart. There was already kind of that we've got to get out of here, but I didn't know how. We didn't have a way out.
Well,
they still had Connor.
Yeah,
I feel like if Gideon had enough HP, and somebody would have asked to roll an Arcana check to see if they could recognize the spell or something like that. If we had realized that he was trying to cast Power Word Kill, I think that
would have counter spells, right?
Well,
Right.
I know Makrin does this whole blame himself thing, but here's and I've been wondering to bring it up or not as Anonymous, but Bathrobes.
F4 tornado.
F4 Tornado come up to me. Remember, he came up to me and he said, "You lived because the prince requested of me." And so there's this slight inner struggle in the background of, did Gideon die because of that? Should it have been me? Would it have been me if not for Wiley? And so the whole confusion of like Johnny still blames Wiley. Or Zonimus still blames Wiley for the death, not Fortunato.
every once in a while, Zonimus and Wiley's relationship seems like Zonimus is a 16-year-old girl dating a guy who's like 19 and a half. Where it's just like...
He has a car.
Yeah, he has a car.
Yeah.
I also, and the other thing is, Brooke, one of the guys to say though is even if you had cast Counterspell, it's a 9th level spell.
You would have had to roll for it.
You would have had to get a 19 or higher.
Yeah.
Just to do that, and that would have been. I know you've got a good charisma to add to it, charisma bonus.
But then there's my dice.
Yeah. So
we really are banking on Brooke's dice.
So even if
Which had just previously rolled 2 1s.
That's right.
Afterwards, right afterwards.
So those 2 1s would have been what you rolling.
Oh, I see what you're saying. As if the time continuum has them loaded up, ready to go, right? Like Schrodinger's dice.
I just want to comment on what Germ said in chat. Too bad nobody could have counterspelled that finger death, right, Makrin? I just want to say, Germs was a really good friend of Brooks, and keep the jabs coming, buddy. We approve.
His one right after that is, I thought Connor was toast when that Still Predator came after him.
So did I.
Yeah.
I came into that recording basically being like, well, it's been a good run, guys.
I remember you talked about it. You were ready to make a new character. Yeah.
Goodbye, good luck.
That would have been one where, like, I think we talked about it right when Connor was coming on to cover for Johnny for those couple episodes. Like, we were going to give Connor an out if Connor didn't feel comfortable being on the podcast, if they didn't feel like it was something they wanted to participate in.
Yeah.
This would have been your out, my guy. This would have been your moment to be like, just let me die. Just let me die.
And we did kind of, not metagame it, but we were kind of all thinking that. We thought, like, how are we going to save him? Like, we, and then Michael has I'm going to, touch Connor and give him 1 hit point, so.
Yeah. And good for me playing a kobold, because those suckers can play dead for eternity.
Yes.
In the chat, Kelly Davis said in that encounter, there for sure would have been death. And then they said the sacrifice saved the group.
Yeah.
And that's exactly true. Like, no matter who it would have been, it keeps it from a TPK.
Right. It does. And also, I think it's what kept Connor in the party was because there was that with Gideon's death. It was, okay, well, then I'm not going out with this. I'm gonna go down with a bang. And so, Kiri catch me, or Poppy catch me,
Are you guys sad that we kind of had Gideon sacrificed for a spy?
What does the chat think about that? Which one would you rather have alive?
Oh my God! Who's your favorite child? Right now, while we're all here, who's your favorite character? Just go. Just tell us, and tell us why it's Zonomus. Just go.
Ahead. You can tell everybody.
Just go.
Well, we've talked about this before. Also, is the adventures that happen afterward fit so much better for Gaz than it does for Gideon.
Gideon would have had a really hard time morally and ethically, especially dealing with his deity. And I feel like he would have had a lot to deal with, and he wouldn't have done well. And this is what I was thinking. Like, if Poppy had died in that moment, I don't know how Gideon would have dealt with Daga on that. Right. And so I feel like it, unfortunately, was the best option.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where the story, although it's improvised, it is telling a true narrative story. Gideon was the perfect person to die. It sucked. Those 3 episodes were awful. They were so horrible. We went through so many paper towels. Because it's all we had. We didn't have any tissues, and we were just blowing our noses and wiping our paper towels.
It was. We talked about it in Roundtable. It was amazing how much true physical grief we all had at the table. Like, it was crazy. It was like it was as if Michael had been lost.
Yeah.
It was so
we
bad.
went through all of those stages of grief.
Okay, so I got to interrupt here for a minute because we all need to say this in unison. Just entering the chat for the first time ever on any of our live streams is Tim A. The other Tim. Welcome, the other Tim. My personal private Pathfinder GM.
Ooh.
Yes.
I had one of those.
He's the one that you used the bad language about?
He's the one he's the one that I was like, look at me, I'm Tim A. That guy, it's that guy, yeah. No. Nothing but praise, sir. Yes, welcome, join us. Yeah, he listens, he loves the show, it's good stuff, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Welcome.
I want to play Pathfinder again. I want to play
Pathfinder.
So here's what we need to do. We need to do, well, here's the moment right now. Tim A., how would you feel about GMing everyone you see on the screen right here for a one-shot, for a short-lived 4 or 5 shot, maybe some kind of little something for patrons only? Patron exclusive?
For patrons only, that'd be a fantastic idea.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, who in chat loves Pathfinder, right? Germs, Hal, Brooke, me,
as long as you
Brooke.
make me a pre-gen, I'm not rolling up a character.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'll make you a character in 5 minutes, Michael.
But I love that idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Similarly, do you guys remember?
100%, he says. Sorry, Kiri.
I think I put this. I can't remember if I put this in.
We'll be in touch.
The public Discord or if it was just in the green room. But my Bridgerton style D&D one shot is shipping this week.
Nice.
I'm so excited because I funded that Kickstarter like in April, maybe late March. And so those are getting shipped, and I'm super jazzed. And I got a fun thing for Halloween for next year too, like as a little add-on gift.
Nice.
Cool.
I love that goal.
So
I like it.
So are we? So that I think it'd be a great idea. I think
So
That's right.
I'm gonna have my people call Tim's people.
Or we could also, instead of just doing it just for Discord only, we could put it on the Render D&D YouTube channel.
We'll put it on the YouTube channel, but patrons get it early.
Early, yeah. 100%.
Like everything. Yep.
Love it.
So Hal has a question for Ash. Did Ash feel secret joy that the power word kill works? Because let me give everyone a recap. I don't know if this was actually in the episode because it's been so long, but Ash goes, so then he raises his hand and points to you and mumbles something. How many hit points do you have, Michael? And Michael was like, a number less than 100. Oh.
It was like 76.
Well, power word kill. You have to have 100 hit points to survive that, so you're dead. And it's like, what?
You fall over dead, and I'm
because it's not planned. It's organic. And so it wasn't like, it's cool, Michael's paladin, he's got 100 hit points. No. Ash had no idea and had to ask, how many hit points do you have? Did you survive this? So, Ash, did you take great joy? Were you Mr. Burnsing back there?
Great question.
Excellent.
Whose voice was that?
Johnny.
It was Johnny.
It was dark.
Did you like that?
That was a good Mr. Burns.
That'll be my next character.
I thought it was Michael.
I'm just gonna let these guys answer the question for me. It's fine. No,
They did. Much joy. You ever seen Ash do a cartwheel?
We do that forever.
I'm kidding. Go.
Yeah.
No, it's it was definitely a mixed emotion. Like I'm definitely not one of those people who like. I'm not the type of DM who relishes in the player kill. Like, for me, it was definitely a calculated move. Fortunato realizes this is a paladin. Paladins are bad news for undead. He's an undead, so who is he going to go after with the biggest, baddest spell that he possesses in order to make a show of power to these fools who are trying to interrupt in his plans. So he basically kills two birds with one stone, in the sense that he gets rid of a paladin, and he makes a show to the rest of these people like, you're not in control. Yeah. I'm in control. You live or die by my at my pleasure. Yeah. And maybe there's a little bit of the DM in there, but just a reminder.
Michael, would it at that episode, would it have been possible for you to have 100 hit points? Like, what was your max?
No, that was my max. I don't even think I've gotten hit yet.
Because my max is only 69 right now, and we're like 5 level. All right, I was really excited when I rolled that.
Wink.
Snicker in the chat.
That was like 5 levels ago.
Gaz, I think it's 125 now.
So it's in Barbie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put somebody on the spot here. Well, let me back a couple things. Go back to that part where you were saying, of course he's going to kill the paladin because...
Yeah. Good luck.
Make sure you wear the brown pants.
So,
You are
Also, like, Gideon had made a big thing about saying, I'm a paladin. This guy has gone Gaga.
he won't know I'm a paladin. He has no idea. I mean, come on. There's no way he knows I'm a paladin.
you are still low key enough. You were basically you still seem like a rogue, but you have paladin powers.
I'm a rogue in a robe.
Episode, we're gonna find
I'm running around with the Star of Daga on my chest.
Right. Yeah.
And declare
I got rid of that.
everyone that I am a paladin of Daga.
Gideon was very much in his face about being a paladin.
Dropping off coinage in like episode 1 at the shrine as we walk by, right?
Yeah, there was nothing. I was full on paladin from the very beginning. Which meant, of course, I've played every one of my paladins died.
As they should.
I've had one paladin die twice.
As they should.
And both of the times they were killed by my son.
Yeah. So someone asked me once, why do paladins die all the time? And here's my answer. Hodor was a paladin.
Oh.
The paladin is the one that's going to stay behind.
Not wrong.
And let you escape while he goes down.
Like that's the thing, is that paladins, if you are playing your paladin right,
you are the one who dies.
They die. They are the first ones in, the last ones out.
And that kind of plays into some Zonimists accepting the offer.
Yeah, and also, but Zonimus is a little bit different because Zonimus is a true range dexterity-based paladin. You stay back because you got that bow. Whereas Gideon, although he also had the gun and could do things great with the gun, he was still a dex-based frontline fighter. Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, also why I picked Gaz, because when I realized I was looking at the party and going, if Gideon goes away, we don't have any frontline fighters. So I picked Gaz because you guys still needed a frontline fighter.
I know what you're talking about. Poppy is a great frontline fighter.
You should not be.
Yes.
You and Makrin are both frontline. You should not. Please.
They are a druid and a sorcerer who think they can tank.
Every time I'm I almost
had that stone golem. I was this close to chipping the last chip in his knee and making him fall down.
It's because I want to
I had to drop down dead. He would have.
I stay back. Like, my hit points are always good. Stay back. Ash, don't listen to that.
The biggest, I will say, except for the time when I almost died, the 2 times where I had the biggest hit points were getting shot with the rifle, and then that other time that recently happened that I can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
That was also a ranged attack. So, I'm just saying, I'm not getting killed by going up on things. I'm getting killed by staying in the map.
It's because I'm playing smart sometimes.
What battle was it? Was it the Battle of the Pegasi where you're on wildfire just like in a circle around the
because in the first round
that's fantastic.
More than half of my hit points in damage from the rifle.
It was like 30 something points of damage.
Because Ash rolled max damage on the rifle shot. And so I was sitting at like 15 hit points that whole battle, zigging and zagging on the whole.
that Pegasus battle, how many of us we all, I think, went down. I went down twice. One of the times I rolled a 20, it's natural 20, so I got to stand right back up. But
it's a pretty.
Makrin was at 1 hit point leaning against the fence post.
Yeah.
I kept trying to get the dwarf down, but I kept
so dodgy when you hit one.
Running around with the healing.
You're staggering. It's all wobbly when you only got 1 hit point left.
Yeah, in the Pegasus fight, Connor also went down.
That wasn't bad. I remember that now. It was just me and
Makrin there because I did go up front.
Yeah, Connor had gone down. Zonimus had gone down. I'd gone down twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
And it was me and Makrin with 1 hit point.
Yeah. And then finally it just kind of ended because
Wiley ran away. I almost got him though. I couldn't.
Yeah, we had to have it so close.
Oh, so close.
So close, we could have ended it all there. And
Yep,
it
would have been done.
Feeling.
Hands washed. Actually,
Could've gone to
at
Fort
that
Rushing
point,
Water.
Fortunato would have come after you guys and been like, really?
You existed at that
5,000 years of work right down the crapper.
Well, don't send him on.
Yeah.
This is when
Right.
we meet. This is when we find out that Wiley has a twin brother that nobody knew
Oh
about,
my god.
with all the same stats.
Or the sister. No spoilers, but the sister. Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
it's a twin sister named Miley.
yeah.
There you go.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't got. Yeah, we got to drop some spoilers for our Patreon. I'm gonna drop one. I ended last session with 10 HP. There's a spoiler for you. I started it with like 20.
Yeah, that mass
remember
cure
I
wounds
ended
really
with,
helped
like,
us out last
-2.
session.
You bet. In the Discord chat, I dropped 4 images and a spoiler for episode 100. One of them is a spoiler coming up.
Yeah.
So,
Those are fun.
Yeah, I realized after I built it, I'm like, one of those hasn't happened yet.
That's okay. You can't tell them. The whole beauty of images without spoilers without
Context.
Images without context.
No
Yeah.
context.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew because I edited.
I hope you know it.
you were there.
You're paying attention.
Yeah. We get pre-spoiled.
Woohoo!
Carrie just got it.
Great questions in the chat. Germs asks, are we going to see any more Oklahoma-style critters in the game?
Like the octopus in the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to find more. Like that's the
Oklahoma
problem.
legends.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, obviously, like we have the Oklahoma octopus.
Or you could just have a tiger attack on a day there's a blizzard with a tornado
Exactly.
and an earthquake. And an earthquake.
I do actually have a great book. I don't have it. I don't think I have it in the room here with me right now. But I do have a book called American Monsters,
Nice.
which basically it like goes over all of the different like cryptids and monsters from America.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wouldn't
I'm
it
feeling
be
honestly.
terrible?
I'm feeling like doing Mothman at some point.
Yeah.
It is a little-
There are already stats for a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. Basically,
Yeah.
you could easily, because that is an Oklahoma.
Oh, that giant plate test that come out. Make the Sasquatch a giant.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yee.
Write that down, Ash.
That's
Actually, no. Actually, I'm gonna call it now. Hey, Michael, give that to Aiden for 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
What is this? Well, okay, second question, and then I want to go there. Second question from Hal says, if Zonimus is a paladin of dusk, basically death, should we expect him to start collecting infinity stones?
You spelled souls wrong. You spelled souls wrong. Keep listening. Just
Keep listening.
Just keep listening.
Ion stones would be freaking awesome.
This is Zonimus gets very religious and does what he was asked to do. No spoilers.
Oh, that cloak.
No
cloak
spoilers.
Is so much fun.
That cloak is so fun. Just the flavor, fun I can have with it.
Cloak I've wanted so bad.
It's so fun.
Yeah, same. When Ash said Robe of Stars, it was kind of like when Michael went folding boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a question in the chat from what does it say there? Aiden06. What is this 1.5 you guys are talking about?
And we got a show for you.
I'm gonna say that. Can't say much.
No. Can't say much because for one thing, we haven't gotten near the end of the campaign 1. But here's the thing. So here's what I will tell you guys is that campaign 1, it will eventually end because all stories do, and we can only go so high in level. When it does, Red Dirt D&D is not over. We will continue with another campaign. The thing is, we do have now our great and wonderful DM, Ash, already has an idea for a campaign 2.
That will be amazing.
That will be fabulous. But what we wanted to do was give Ash a break from DMing for a little while.
100%.
we are going to do a campaign 1.5. I don't want to give away any details about it, but there will be basically a campaign that happens in between campaigns 1 and 2. So we kind of already have this planned out. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary next month. We are already
We're potty trained.
At least 2 years more into the future.
Yeah.
So tell your friends we're not going anywhere. We're not a flash in the pan here. We have got plans for Red Dirt D&D. The first thing is going to be a 1.5 campaign, which, trust me, the way it's looking right now, you guys are going to love it. And then
go ahead.
Where Ash gets back in the Dungeon Master seat and takes us somewhere that
takes us to a place where things happen.
Yeah, and it's going to be phenomenal. So
we will be characters there.
I've already thought about our characters really. So we're working toward a future of this. So it's not going to be just a one campaign and we're done. We are continuing this on. So,
but Michael,
watch this space for more.
But Michael,
yes,
there's another question in the chat from a. I'm making this up as I read it. If Ash isn't DMing, who is?
Me, myself, and I had the same question.
Do we want to talk about that?
I think so. I think we want to tease that.
No, let's just do this. Let's just do this and then move on without a word. If you're going to be the DM for 1.5, raise your hand. All right.
None of us are lying. And none of us are lying.
Next question. Next question.
They're getting married. No, they're not.
Popamus is happening.
Now for something completely different.
Oh.
But the fact that we have not only celebrating our 100th episode, but the fact that come next month, we will be celebrating 2 years, which is phenomenal. Coming up probably late July or early August, we will be celebrating 50,000 downloads.
Yes, crazy.
We are niche internet micro celebrities.
Yeah, we have 30 patron members right now. We are growing so fast, and I think faster than a lot of and I'm not talking about the big podcasts that have a lot of backing and stuff, but as your smaller podcasts, they're just kind of on a whim decided, hey, let's throw this together, let's have some auditions and put some people out and start doing this. I think we're growing faster than most, and so that's all because of you. That's all because of our great Discord, our great Patreons, our great listeners, fans. It's been phenomenal, and because of that, because of the growth, it just makes us go, hey, we've got to do a campaign 1.5. We got to do a campaign 2. So it's just amazing. What did you guys think when you auditioned? And so I'll give it up to Johnny and Kiri and Brooke. When you guys auditioned, did you guys think that you would be part of something 2 years going on down the road?
I figured we would probably have fallen apart by now.
I honestly, I don't know if I would say put a number on it, but I thought yeah. 2 years and beyond. I'm sorry, I did. I just, yeah.
I hoped and dreamed. And one day this will lead me to be able to meet my D&D goddess Emily Axford. And it's going to be a most glorious day. But that I also told myself realistically, prepare yourself for this to, kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
At some point in time between 1 and 2 years or something like that. I didn't, at the time when we recorded, I didn't know if the pandemic was going to shut us down. And that if, we went for so long without, if that was going to be the catalyst for a downfall or anything like that. We've been lucky enough to be able to safely do all of these things. But yeah, I'm very glad and very happy. I love Poppy. I've mentioned a few times, this is the character that I have played the longest ever. And the character I've gotten, the highest starting from level 1. I've had higher level characters, but it's because we started at level 10, right? But starting at level 1, I've never gotten to 12. So and I feel like we're getting close to 12.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end.
Those of us who are still alive.
Yeah, and as you'll start to see as we go past episode 100, you'll start to listeners, you'll start to hear that we're coming toward some kind of
climax.
You can tell it's coming.
And so look ahead to that. It's really fantastic.
You know, when you're watching a movie and you can kind of feel like an action-y movie, like a superhero movie, a Marvel movie or something like that, and you can kind of tell you're headed into the final battle, and you're like, if I'm going to go to the bathroom, this is the time.
Yes.
We are at that point.
Yes.
You're going to go to the bathroom.
Everyone go to the bathroom.
This is the time. Or if you're like my regular...
The climactic 100 has happened. You can listen to whatever on 1.5. What does that mean?
Or like if you're... So my regular Saturday Night DM hates how... Like, he hates it in a way in which he loves it. The cliffhangers that we have all the time. And so I will warn him, hey, don't listen to this episode until the next 3 come out. So like leading up to Gideon's death, I said, don't listen to episode 69 until we have at least episode 71 ready to go. Like you
are a really good friend.
I know.
Yeah. So we have had a couple of questions and other comments. Thank you, Germs. Basically, the production quality you folks put out is so very high in comparison to other podcasts with similar funding. I'm continually surprised. Thank you so much, Germs. It is a labor of love.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Literally, again, there's reasons why I literally call Michael my enabler. Like, I would not be doing, I would just still be dreaming about doing a podcast if it wasn't for Mr. Cross. So,
and that 100%. Circles around to my answer about what I thought this whole thing would be. I mean, I was super excited about that. It'd be a ton of fun. We've talked in the past at Roundtable about the level of competition that was in the room for the spots that were there. It was just everybody who tried out was amazing. Michael posted a picture in Discord just a few days ago of that original, at least the one that I was in, right? You know, the original session.
All 3 of you were in that one.
We came out of that one session, Yeah.
And I remember at the point of audition, I had only been playing D&D for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I was
craziness.
Brand new.
Was that on your application?
I lied.
You lied on your application?
I'm going to be honest right now.
She lied on her resume.
When they said send us a theater resume, I was like, I'm going to put the high school production of Once Upon a Mattress, but I'm not going to lead on that it was my high school production of Once Upon a Mattress.
It was my high school production.
That is how you do resumes.
I felt so nervous just putting down, I don't have any theater background except for I entertain 180 kids a day. So
right.
Amen.
You can't fire me now. Don't love Poppy too much.
Unless she dies.
It's only Michael and I who know what it's like to crawl into the skin of another human being.
Yes.
Or something like that.
I thought it was going to be great fun. I heard the raw of our first track together. And it is, strangers in a room going, okay, are you talking now? Or am I talking now?
Right.
So there were these long pauses in the very first episode that Michael tightened up. And again, I've said before, whenever that train whistle blew in the first episode, I sat up. I was laying down in bed listening to it, and I sat up and went, oh my God, Michael Cross might be right. We might be successful in 3 to 5 years.
Overnight successes in 5 years.
That's right. Overnight success in 5 years.
Listen, I think, and I can, as a person who loves, Michael, talks about listening to a bunch. He listens to a handful of podcasts. I listen to one podcast at a time, and I just listen to all of it. So as a person who does that, once campaign 1 is complete in its entirety, I think that also will become a thing. They will binge all of campaign 1, and then get into campaign 1.5, which I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to 1.5. I predict it's going to be a slightly higher level of silly than 1. That I could be wrong.
I have a feeling. So, at least for us, in kind of the planning for the next part, 1.5 is definitely going to be a Steam release. Of everything that's built up during 1.
So, but I think that's. So they're gonna really as a person who does that, and then, I'm predicting that we will see another. We saw a while. I know about the time we hit 30,000, we had like a couple months where it was like super mind-boggling exponential growth, and I think we'll see another one as well.
Yeah. And all of that's possible because of you guys. Like, you're telling your friends, you're telling your neighbors, you're
telling your Starbucks barista.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's possible because of the magic of the storytellers and the actors and Michael Cross's demigodness with Foley, but it's really possible because you guys listen, and give us feedback. If you like what's happening, tell us. If 1.5, is too silly, as there was the teaser of who's the DM, and there were lots of hands. It's adjustable, right? So by its very format, it'll be adjustable. More details on that later.
You guys have heard me DM. There's no way it's not going to be at least a little silly.
and I think that's
going back to what Ash said, we kind of want 1.5 to be a palate cleanse.
Yes.
I let you guys get away with way too many shenanigans.
Because of how serious campaign 1 has been.
Yeah.
I think,
and how serious we predict campaign 2 will also be.
Yeah, we kind of need that little break. The break for Ash to
100%
work on too, but then also for
us to do the shenanigans that we never would ask Ash to let us do because we respect them too much.
Yes.
Or Ash to get to do the shenanigans that they never get to do.
If you really like our outtakes, 1.5 should be good.
Right up your alley. No, I'm super excited. And again, it's one of those things that gives me a chance to relax for a little while and play, and then do research for campaign 2. That's my research list is.
Yeah, it's growing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Your browser history is just nothing.
Yeah, you've got to be on
I'm a writer and a content creator, okay? If I am not on some sort of like FBI watch list by now, I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're a writer, you're a content creator, but you're also, you work in funerary services.
Like in the funeral service industry.
I have to study for a test. Decomposition rate of a dead body.
It's true.
After you Googled poisons.
And I really hope that the beauty of what we've done with the music and the sound effects is that hopefully when people are listening, plus it's only the show's only 40 minutes long, it's a lot easier for people to listen to. So,
well, we've mentioned over and over and over again we're constantly moving. We don't have the same lulls that other longer shows have, where you can skip forward 5 minutes and not miss anything.
Yeah.
Generally, with us, we are moving along, and if we're not moving along, Mike either cuts it or we say, "Hey guys, what are we doing?"
Yeah.
What's our motivation?
You'd be amazed how much gets cut out.
Or Ash drops a fireball.
Or everyone looks at the dwarf and goes, "Would you like to give him the thing?" And Brooke's like,
"What thing?"
Yeah. Wow. That was the whole reason we're here. Hey, Brooke, will you do me a favor when we get off the air? Will you tell Germs that I'm also much more interested in the story than the listener? Thanks, Jeremy.
I will let him know.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I said take a jab.
That was an and the characters.
That was right.
And the characters. He likes the story and the characters.
Hey, I'm a simple man. I see a jab, I take it. Kiri's been jabbing me all day.
Sorry, I just love what Kelly Davis just put. I can't wait for the director's cut where Ash's inner monologue of this stream is played. That lower lip is just getting brutalized. I don't know if you've noticed, but that actually is just one of my tics. It's just where I have a really bad habit of chewing along the side of my nails. It's just one of my tics, one of my little stems. So don't read anything into it.
No.
Although there was somebody actually earlier said that good luck, Ash. I heard Michael can hold a grudge.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to create a lich that's begun after Ash's character.
I've already vaporized Ash.
Kilted Warriors here.
This is true. I was like,
Oh yeah, it may have been
our very first holiday special.
the kill right there.
Like, yeah, she went after me, and again,
You were the one closest to figuring out the puzzle. I had to stop you.
Again, it was perfect in the moment. Like, yes, it sucked. But no, it was like, no, you did exactly what you needed to do in order for your villain to continue their reign of terror.
Yep.
So
I would have done the exact same.
It's Poppy's fault because that's where the lich idea came from. I got it now. It's Kiri's fault. Because that's where
I did nothing.
We do want to say a big welcome to Kilted Warrior Mike while we got a moment.
Well, we have like 1 minute left.
Here's a bit of a spoiler. Kilted Warrior Mike, you get a mention coming up in about 4 or 5 episodes.
You do.
So
we sing a kilt song.
No. So stick around for those outtakes.
Yes, stick around for the outtakes now.
I will say sometimes we'll get to the end of the episode when I'm listening to it on drive and there's still like 15 minutes left and I'm like, is that we really have 15 minutes of
Now wait a minute.
It's never that bad.
I've never been more than 5 minutes long. I always try to
It looks big. It looks like a big chunk.
There may have been one recently that was close to 8 minutes of outtakes, but that was a particularly crazy
I will say
session.
there
because it was the
one that
shortest
had
actual episode.
Yeah, I will say the one shorter episode that we recently recorded had like the same number of the same minutes of outtakes as a normal episode because the episode itself was only 30 minutes.
Sometimes I can feel a little freer if I feel like the episode got cut a little bit shorter. So, yeah.
We had a perfect ending to that episode. We had to set it right there.
Episode 99 when nothing really happens and I ask you to cut it off when
Can we end it there?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a perfect little cliffhanger.
It was a perfect, big, giant little cliffhanger.
It was. And then for like the 5 to 10 minutes in which we're off recording, I didn't answer any questions. Find out when I have it.
You're gonna find out in character.
There's nothing worse than as a cast member when Connor with a C says, you're just going to have to wait till the next episode.
Yeah. I don't get to do that often.
He doesn't. It's always
awesome.
it's interesting because like there's also like Johnny and I there are no secrets really between Poppy and Zonomus. Like we are talking to each other a lot with like things that are so like even if Zonomus hadn't brought up Kiri, why are you pissed off at Connor? That would have been something that we had shared in like our own private chat because there's so much time off camera, so to speak, that we can just assume, like those 4 or 5 days we were in the airship, we can assume there was some very adorable Papa-Miss moments.
And Zonomus and Poppy have their own Rocky Talkies.
Somebody get on the fan fiction train. Like that is how, as a content creator, you know that you've made it, is when people start to do fan art and fan fiction. Like, until we hit that moment...
We have 2 different Red Dirt D&D fan TikTok pages.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is true.
They haven't posted anything
and we
yet.
have a
They
wiki
just
page.
like stuff.
We have a wiki page.
We have a wiki.
So,
but it's like
yes,
until I start to see that fan art and see that fan fiction, I won't read it because, as a content creator, you don't read it because then people can't like accuse you of stealing their ideas. But I just want to read the summaries.
Just someone tell me
what tags are we going to be using on AO3?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know the tags. Give me the TLDR.
We can read the fanfic after the campaign one.
Yeah.
If it's true fanfic, we're going to have to do it during the Red Dirt After Dark episodes.
I'm telling you over the story for one, so I will read the fanfiction.
I'm telling you, at Smithson's, when we come back and Poppy's in a towel at the shower.
Yeah.
That's all that happened there.
I'm gonna end this.
Bobby hasn't had a shower in. All right, we gotta.
I'm gonna end this live. I'm gonna end this live stream with this right here. The Smithsons had a pineapple in their window. Michael Cross, take us out.
Okay, so everybody, make sure that you check us out. Of course, you guys are all our Patreon members. You know where to find us. You can find us Twitter, Facebook. Find us at reddirtdnd.com. Thank you. Tell your friends. Let them know that we are growing fast. And to be a member of Red Dirt D&D. Also want a big thank you to Sheila Griffin, who won our Die Hard Dice giveaway for our 100th episode. Sheila Griffin will be getting a $25 gift card. But thank you so much. There's going to be more giveaways. Check us out if you are in the Oklahoma area. Come to Red Dirt to SoonerCon. Red Dirt D&D will be at SoonerCon, June 24th through 26th at Embassy Suites in Norman. So come down. We'll have a table there, or we'll have something there. I don't know. There's something in the game room.
There's something going on in the game room.
If nobody else, we'll be playing D&D. So come join us playing D&D.
You'll probably see me running around like a headless chicken trying to organize D&D.
We're going to have panels.
Can we give the time for, is that something that we can release?
Not yet. It has not been official yet. It's not been official.
So once it is official, we will tell you.
Okay. Coming up on Monday. So
I say they've got us going off in all different directions. It's going to be great.
In the meantime, come check us out if you can. Come to SoonerCon. It's going to be fabulous. And in the meantime, I guess this has been the 100th episode special.
Woo!
Yay!
Who are you?
We gotta do these more often.
We do. We should do one for our 2-year.
Yeah, we should. You're right. So that's going to be next time. So I'm Michael Cross.
Connor Schnold.
Johnny Payne.
Kiri Hester.
Rick Bullock.
And Ash King.
We'll see y'all next time.